Hello everybody, my name is Gur, and I'm a part of the competitive Heroes of the Storm team, formerly Vex Gaming. Kind of in hiatus right now, looking for a new organization. I'm joined here by my good buddy.
PentaKyle.
He's newer to the game, so what we're going to do for you today is we're going to kind of break down the beta, the first patch of beta, January 13th, 2014. Just do a quick little run through of the patch, our impressions of it, and kind of give you the viewpoint from someone like me who's experienced the game for a while, played probably a bit too much of it in all honesty, and then Kyle here who's newer to the game. He's also level 40, so he has some experience, but he's just now really breaking into it. So we'll go over that stuff. So this is just kind of the basic introduction. New hero portraits that you can get for getting level 40 or playing a game. You can see those portraits here if you haven't seen them already. I believe this is going to be the basic one, and that's for if you've got level 40, kind of Blizzard's gift to you, thanking you for playing in the alpha. So what they're introducing this patch is a new battleground, Sky Temple. Essentially you have temples in each map, and they'll occasionally pulse and deal damage to enemy structures, really melt towers, kind of like Blackheart's Bay without the turn in my opinion. And I feel like this map, here's a quick little overview picture of it. You have your 3 shrines here, top, mid, and bottom. Kind of just my basic impression of this map is going to be, really lane matchups could vary. You could do a 2-1-2 matchup, you could do a 1-1-1 with 2 people roaming, or you can even do like a 1-3-1, so that way you create pressure on both lanes the moment you disappear. I believe right here is supposed to be a boss camp, so later on in the game, I think the bot shrine will become more important. That's just my. Do you have any thoughts on this map?
I don't know. I'm still a big fan of this being a 1-1-3. I see it. I don't think you put 3 in top. I could see 1-3-1, and I couldn't see 1-1-1 unless, like you said earlier, Kerrigan and Arthas. I could definitely see Kerrigan and Arthas being strong in this map, but
yeah, just that roam potential to really help out. As far as like looking at this map from a solo queue versus competitive standpoint, I don't feel like a lot of teams. Of course, I haven't got to play the map yet. I wasn't at BlizzCon or anything. So, but this map, to me, first impression is really snowbally, which is kind of why a lot of people don't like Blackheart's Bay for competitive, because kind of once you get ahead, it's really hard to catch up. So, if you start snowballing on this map really hard, these shrines are just going to keep wrecking your towers even faster. So to me, I feel like this won't be that great of a competitive match, but it just depends on how the process is exactly on taking these shrines. I'm still unfamiliar with that, so I could be wrong on it being so snowbally, but it kind of seems that way. It's like a different Blackheart's Bay from my perspective. This patch also introduces a new hero. We get Thrall, the War Chief.
yes.
Basic ability rundown: Chain Lightning, blast 3 enemies. Feral Spirit, it's gonna kind of shoot a wolf. Forward, it's going to do some burn damage, and it gives a root, so it gives him some CC. And then Wind Fury to increase attack and movement speed. The trait, casting ability, as enemy grant charges that heal you. I think it takes 5 charges to heal you, if I remember correctly. They might have changed that. It doesn't go into too much here, so they might have changed that from what I read at BlizzCon. Earthquake, it's a giant earthquake essentially that slows people and deals damage. And then Sundering, well, actually, it might not deal damage, it might just slow. I'm just assuming. Sundering, it shoots a giant line in front of it, damages and stuns enemies. I think
Sundering will be taking over Earthquake a lot more.
Yeah, I think giving damage and a stun is more efficient than a slow, but we'll have to try it. I think Thrall will be kind of the game changer. From what I remember at BlizzCon, he had a trait that would increase the Chain Lightning to where it hits 5 enemies and instant proc your passive. So that would kind of just give him some crazy amount of sustain. Hopefully they've changed that.
If they have, he should be okay. Should be decent.
I've heard a lot of talk that he was really, really strong, borderline OP at BlizzCon. So hopefully that's different. Let's see some other. We go into the UI. Versus mode's been renamed Quick Match, which probably what it should have been called the whole time. Daily quests can now be completed in practice mode, so I guess it doesn't really affect people as much. There's been a lot of talk on Reddit with people botting or AFKing to complete quests. Phone going crazy, you might have heard that. Hero League, this is ranked. This is what we've all wanted, finally. No more hot dogs. You basically this system, I think. So for those unfamiliar with it, you can queue up alone or in a party of any size to play in ranked. It's going to match you against similar party sizes or similar skills. So you queue up with 3 people, they're going to try to match you against another group that's paired as 3 with 2 solo queue people. To me, this system, because they're trying to do the similar skill and party size, at the lower ranks, I think this will be really efficient. But as you get up into the higher ranks, you're not going to want to... I don't know, I feel like for those of you that are familiar with the scene, those of you unfamiliar, there's a guy named Soldier. He's part of Symbiote. He did a really, really good Reddit write-up as far as, like, the problem with ranked at the higher ranks.
Yeah.
Because you're initially, like... Me personally, I'm not going to want to try to solo queue whenever I know that Symbiote's queuing as 5 at a higher rank because,
it hinders you.
How am I ever going to beat that, right?
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like it hinders solo queue players a lot. I think they should maybe try and at least put some mode where you can just solo and play with other people that are soloed so you got a chance. Because, there's people that play this game that probably don't have a lot of friends that want to do Hero League or even play the game, so I just feel like it's a big hindrance towards them, and even if they're a really talented player, they won't be able to rank up a whole lot.
Yeah, it'll struggle, especially since you're going to lose points when you lose, so like, just imagine like that terrible world where you queue up and you go against like Glorious or Symbiote or something. And of course, this is me just thinking at the higher ranks. The lower ranks, it probably won't be as big of a deal, honestly. The draft mode, you have the coin toss, of course, to see who picks first and who picks second. From my understanding, even though their beta preview video that they put out recently kind of really showed it in a different way, I think they previewed the wrong thing in that video. But it should just be kind of standard, like for those of you familiar with League of Legends, the standard 1-2-2, 2-2-1 pick scenario. You have to have at least 10 heroes to play rank. That doesn't count the weekly free ones. You have 30 seconds to pick. It's basically that. You can choose from people you own. You start at rank 50 and you go all the way up to a maximum of rank 1. And you can get demoted to ranks below you. So it's kind of similar to the Hearthstone system, for those of you that played that.
One thing about the patch notes also is that like they don't go into deep detail about a lot of the things. Like they don't tell you like how many points you gain per win, or I guess it varies depending on who you're playing against and how high up they are. But it doesn't tell you like how many are necessary to rank up to the next level and all that sort of stuff. So like the thing that you were talking about earlier that we discussed, which you're going to get to here soon, about if somebody DCs and you're in a party with them and you lose 300 points, like how much does that actually affect you? Is it a huge effect or is it a minor effect?
Yeah,
I mean, I'd like if they went into further detail about things like that.
So what he's referencing is here actually in the game abandonment. This I don't think is a big deal at all. I don't think this is going to stop anybody. A player that leaves an in-progress Hero League or Quick Match cannot queue for another ranked game until a new Quick Match game is completed. Like, it's cool. You're kind of like smacking them on the wrist at that point. Like, you're just saying like, oh, you left and screwed your team out of however many points you're going to lose. Here's a slap on the wrist. Go play a normal game. They're still going to come back and be toxic. It's not like they're losing that much. And this is something I really don't like personally. Leaving a Hero League game during draft mode will result in a loss of 300 rank points in addition to the above penalty, and all that player's party members at the time of the draft also get that penalty. So just imagine a situation like you and a buddy are queuing up, and like say there's a storm or something, and whatever the situation is, his internet goes out, his power goes out, whatever. Not only does like he get knocked out and then he gets punished for it, but you get punished for like something that's completely out of your control. That I do not like at all. I feel like in the future they'll probably change that. I can see why it kind of encourages like friends to, promote good attitude, so you can't be toxic to the solo queuers. But it's like I don't think they should punish me for my friend being a dick. Just to put it lightly. Or just, even something out of his control. I don't think I should be punished for that. Custom games. So you have this is really good for competitive. Finally, all these casters, we have great casters, Solid Jake, Zoya, I'm terrible with names. Those are the two I mainly watch. Caldor, forgive me if I say your name wrong. Finally, we get an implemented draft mode for you guys, so it's not really like awkward looking to like seeing the people on random, and then you can't see what they're typing in the text for picks. And people that are unfamiliar with how the draft normally works in like competitive games, it's all gonna make sense to you now. You can actually see it happening. So you have predetermined, which would be if everyone on both teams owned all heroes, you could do this maybe and it'd be fine. First come first served is probably what people are going to be using in competitive for tournaments, because it just lets you have your picks, and it just lets you pick in whatever order you want. So it's kind of like it is now when you're spectating it. Some art stuff. You have new 3D art for stem packs. No one really cares. Healing wells have an updated visual effect. Again, like none of this stuff really matters. Updated visuals for your master skin, for Chin, Jaina's skin, like her base skins, Nazeebo's base skin, Raynor, Sergeant Hammer's master skin. Hopefully it looks better than it did now. Maybe we get more than just a flag on the back of it. Stitch's base skin, the bat mount, it was pretty ugly. Hopefully it looks better. Counter scaring when using other mounts. Golden Cyberwolf second mount has been made more distinct. They keep updating the Cyberwolves, so hopefully they'll just look better over time. Some different effects. Azmodan, his Q like radius and explosion is green now, I think. Countess Kerrigan, it has like little barbed fences come up. Cyberak and Nubrak, haven't seen that. Pajamather.
That's one everybody's excited about.
You get a little train for your Locust Strain. You get like a dead bunny with a missing butt knife for your Q, and your cocoon form. You like curl up in your own little crib.
It's awesome.
Skeletor we haven't seen yet. I hope it looks just as awesome. And the Spectronova's Q snipe is supposed to look different. So I don't really see Spectronova anyway, but hopefully that might be a big change. People might be excited about that. Let's see. Updated visuals for abilities. So like Jaina can see a chill. Rainer's basic attack. I think it's more actual StarCraft Marine based from what I saw in that video. New ability icon art. Summon units have received additional effects. And skin variations have been swapped. Doesn't really matter.
You were pretty excited about the Nazeebo ult color change.
Oh, did I skip that? Yes,
Yeah.
I think for normal games, this is one of the greatest changes of the patch, because I don't know how many times I've been standing there and my team's in Nazeebo ult, and then like the other team's ult, and I'm just,
You don't know which one is which.
it's
which
like,
one to run
when
from.
I'm not paying attention. When I'm not paying attention, it's just like, what's going on? So I think that's a great change. It's kind of like back when League, when they finally made Singed Poison Trail team color.
Yeah.
A lot of people really enjoyed that. Weekly sales. I think this will help a lot of people that maybe don't have as much money to throw around for the game. I think the weekly sales will be awesome. It'll either be one hero and 2 hero skins, or 1 hero, 1 skin, 1 mount. So with there not being that many mounts, you have a good option to get the mount you want. Their bundles. You have the Hellhammer Thrall, which is going to be Thrall on his skin. The looks for your skin bundles. So what is it? Tassadar, Zagara, Brightwing, I believe would be. I think those are the 3 skins for that.
Would that not contain the Chin skin and the Lily skin, or no?
I think those are supposed to be like the New Year,
New
Year things.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if those are complete in that. And then the looks for your complete bundle. I believe you get the Magic Carpet with the complete bundle. Those go out. Thrall's been added to the shop. Yeah, the Magic Carpet. It's available with purchase of the Luxurious Skin Bundle or the Complete Bundle. But for anyone concerned, it's going to be added as an individual item with a future update. So if you really want that for your Jaina to complete, like I do, because you played WoW and you really loved your carpet mount from tailoring and you just want to relive your WoW days, you can get it. You can get it by itself later. Stitch's gold price went down to 7K. I love it for everybody. I also hate it because it's going to be way more Stitches.
Hook City.
Let's see. Oh, these are the skins. New hero skins. Tassadar, Zagara, Thrall, Brightwing. They each get a skin. And then The 2 Christmas theme skins have been removed. They'll come back later when more people get access to the game, they said before. Cloak reveal duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. I don't think that'll be a huge change in gameplay for them. And then you can no longer be cast within the Altar of Storms. You can't back in the Altar of Storms. So changes to Battlegrounds. I think some of these changes are alright. You have your structures. Your core deals 20% damage versus heroes. So I think that'll really kind of prohibit these games from snowballing too out of control. I think they'll still be able to end really quick.
Except on Black Hearts. Still going to be a fucking terror on Black Hearts.
Yeah.
They'll still just fucking rush your core.
Yeah. So I think this will really inhibit things like something... That's a good map. Like maybe Haunted Mines. Those games can end in like 12 minutes. Like, you won't be able to just core rush that early because you're going to take a lot more damage. This change I'm super excited about because for whatever reason Abathur couldn't symbiote or Tassar couldn't shield the core. So really just if you were getting snowballed and like they were on your core, Abathur really couldn't do anything until minions spawned. And even then it was easy to deal with, so really happy they changed that. Let's see. I'm out of drink. Towers. The amount of time the towers are disabled while regenerating ammunition has been increased from 20 to 30 seconds. I think this just puts more value in defending your towers at that point. Like, I think the ammo matters more still. Not really a huge change though. I don't think that'll ever really play into effect. Grave Golem, they changed this up some, so you can't delay it constantly. Grave Golems no longer pause when casting roots, so that's one ability that's not going to delay it from getting to your structures. When you're kind of like just letting the towers ignore your or letting the towers kill the boss golem when you're trying to complete an objective, it'll now actually cast the root on ranged minions, so you don't have this like giant wall of ranged minions that form that the golem just can't deal with. Of course, it's still prioritized for heroes. Let's see, post-cast delay on stomps. So now when it stomps, it's not just going to pause there for a couple seconds. It'll now be cast. Stomp will now be cast regardless of if heroes are there. And it's not going to be cast unless it's already stationary. So you can't just delay the golem from getting to your structures like you used to do before. Well-coordinated teams could do to try to kill it and negate the damage a lot.
So boss play is going to be a big thing, or should possibly be a lot more important than it was before.
Yeah, I think actually focusing on the boss is going to be a bit more important. You can't really of course you're still going to have to contest like something like a tribute, occasionally, but it's going to be more impactful because the golem's going to actually be able to deal with these ranged minions. That's first. Level 20 talents have been reordered, so they your first talent I believe is going to upgrade coincide with say shock and awe, and then you have blasting awe or whatever it's called. Those two are both going to be the first one and then the second. The greatest change of this patch, Resurgence of the Storm, gone from the game. We've waited on this forever. I think this changes the whole game. In my opinion, I think it adds a lot more value to Diablo because he's the only one that can revive. So, he's a tank that can get rather tanky. He's still kind of in a rough space, I think, build-wise, talent-wise, and all that. But it adds more value to him because he can actually revive.
That's all you warrior players. You got to be more careful about when you die. You got to. You ain't got that fallback no more.
No more hitting 20 suiciding. Right? And this, as someone that has to use mule a lot, this is the second best change of this patch because our mules are no longer retarded. They'll actually prioritize healing a structure over
when you throw it down near your hall and it goes fix your gate.
Yeah, it's it's ridiculous. It's gonna prioritize town halls and towers, so you throw it down, you gotta put it closest to the one you want. Right, where's that? Right here. If two structures are equally prioritized, are in range of the mule's placement, it'll begin repairing the one it was dropped closer to. Finally, you drop it close to the tower, it's gonna heal the tower. It's not gonna ignore it and go heal the well, and then the gate, and then finally the tower. Thank you. Merklord, I think this is an interesting change. I think it'll impact the game some, maybe not too much. My throat's getting pretty dry. But Siege and Bruiser camps now deal 50% increased damage, so those big old tanky knights are going to do more damage. The drawback of that, though, is that the player with Merklord has to be in a proximity of these things and of these camps, and they'll get the damage bonus when they're pushing.
How many guys losing Asmodeans you think you'll see because of that?
Too many. Gazlo's not really a huge issue. He's much more manageable, but I think we'll see too many Asmodeans. See some changes. These are kind of really hard to talk about because the hero changes, because they don't go into too much detail with them. But you know, so it's kind of all speculation. We haven't actually got to play the patch yet. The patch was downloaded; it's not live yet. So
it's also a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So Abathur change. He gets his new ult finally that we've been promised. Evolve Monstrosity. I almost said Monastery.
Yes, you got it. You did it.
Evolve Monstrosity. So it turns an allied minion or your Locust into a Monstrosity for 60 seconds. When an enemy minion dies near it, it gains 4% health and 4% attack damage.
See, this is another area where they're vague. Like, they don't tell you anything about it. It's just, this is what it does, but it will not tell you how much attack damage it has, how much health. So you don't know, like, if the scaling is, like, really good on it or if it's decent.
Yeah, it stacks up to 30 times. So essentially you get, 120% extra health and basic attack damage, assuming you push really fast, and you have 60 seconds. So you have to kill 30 things within 60 seconds and then do something with that.
Yeah.
If you use Symbiote on a Monstrosity, almost a monster again, it allows Abathur to control it, as well as the normal benefits from it. I think that's really good. I think this is going to give Abathur a way to get into a team fight, add an extra body in there, especially with the chains that we'll talk about in a little bit too, his other ult. I think this, I actually think this will be the go-to ultimate, if it does good damage. Again, it's really vague, so it's kind of a first impression. It's hard to gauge, but if this does good damage and then it stacks up more damage, I think this will be the go-to for split pushing and team fighting. New talent for it. It clones and deals damage to nearby enemies every 3 seconds, so basically like a Sunfire Cape or something. Evolution complete, it increases the duration by 50%, so rather than 60 seconds, it'll be 90 seconds. And the Monstrosity gains the ability to deep tunnel to any visible location. I think this is really good because you can create pressure in a couple lanes, and it'll let you be able to get those stacks with a minion wave. So like a bottom wave is pushing up, you kill that wave really quick with the Monstrosity, and then you burrow into the team fight. I think that'll be really good.
I didn't read that early.
Locust Strain, it got rid of a couple talents, and I'm really terrible with remembering talents, so I actually have the talents over here. So I got rid of Eradicate minions, which is basically when your Symbiote Spike Burst, which was your W, did 50% more damage than non-heroic targets. That's gone from the game. And then Combat Adaptation, which was, what was that one? We found it earlier. Combat Adaptation is when your Locust gain 20% more attack speed. Those two level 1 talents just out of the game. They weren't really that good anyway, so no one's going to miss them. Regenerative Microbes, move from level 7 to 1. I think this is a really good change. It lets your E be able to shield people from an early level, so kind of gives that early, even more early pressure for your lanes overall, because you can heal up minions. If you have to hold a lane by yourself as Abathur, a lot of times you'd want to hat the minion and then start pushing the wave. And this way, like, you can heal up. Like, if say a minion's taking damage, you can E it and it'll start healing the minion up as well, or a hero in a team fight. The Assault Locust with your Locust Cleave, and they explode on death. The explosion just does a little bit less damage, so it's not as game changing when you start split pushing more. See, Survival Instincts, in addition to 30% bonus to Locust health, and they now last an additional 10% second, or 10 seconds. Still pretty good. New talent Locust Nest. I really like this one. I think 20 is going to be a hard talent for Abathur. Now, it depends on how good this nest is, of course, how periodic it is. I wish they were more specific. But it lets you place a nest and it'll spawn locusts from that nest periodically. So you can go top lane and put a nest down somewhere safe, and then burrow bot lane and create pressure from 2 lanes. I don't know why my throat's so dry. This is my first. It's my first video doing a patch, and there's a lot of patches. So talking.
Yeah, there's a big, like probably the biggest patch yet. Maybe,
Yeah.
at least most game changing.
Symbiote. No one has a time duration. It never really played a huge factor anyway, but it's okay that it's gone. In case team fights go really long. Barbed spines. That was the increased damage. They removed that talent, but the increased damage is still not gone. Pressurized glands. Talent moved from level 4 to level 1. What was that? That was the increases the range of your spike burst. I don't think that one will ever be picked at level 1 now. I think it's got too much competition. Let's see, new talent. Sustain carapace. Increases the duration of Symbiote's carapace by 50%. And allows it to persist after Symbiote ends. So it's kind of like Taskar has that talent where you shield someone and the shield stays there for a while. This is the same way. New talent. I think this will be the new level 4 talent. It has no real competition anymore. It just lets your host gain 25% increased attack speed. I think that's just too crazy on like any carry. Like put that on a baller or something. Get the hatred stacks more. Put it on a Rainer, with searing attacks. That's going to be more crits. I think that talent's level 4. Like go to.
Yeah.
Network carapace using this one I think will be really good as well. But that one's kind of hard to say because it's competing with Mule, and with Mule being upgraded, like you're gonna want Mule to save those structures a lot. This is a really good talent though. When you use E on a minion or Merc, it also applies that to all the nearby minions and Mercs. So.
Well, you said earlier you think you would take that if you're really far ahead, but even at level 7, you don't know if you're gonna maintain your lead. So there's a lot of thought process that has to go into that. Like, if you have a big lead, do you think you're going to be able to hold it? Is your team playing well enough?
Yeah.
And all of that. Like, Mule is safer by far.
Yeah, I think Mule is a much safer pick. This is one that
it's
I definitely
more aggressive,
have to try.
I think.
Yeah.
Taking that over Mule.
This is one I definitely have to try. But say you combo this one with this level 4 system.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think you would want to give up Eternal Overlord. Like, that's 25% increased attack damage. It's too good. Soma Transference. I can't read. I'm illiterate, I guess. Similar Spike Burst heals the host per enemy hero hit. I don't think you'll ever take that. Like, that to me just doesn't seem good, especially when you have Salt Strain and all that at level 13. How often do you hit that many things to where it's going to heal a significant amount, Yeah. Most people are going to position well enough to where that W, like, I don't think you're ever going to spec towards your Symbiote's W to where you're going to hit enough heroes. I don't think that's a good talent.
And then Hive Mind.
Hive Mind, I think, level 20 is very competitive for Abathur now. It's going to be a lot of testing to see which one's better. This one I really like. Casting Symbiote now creates an additional Symbiote on a nearby allied hero. So you get 2 symbiotes on your team, so double shields, double spines, double W. I think that's crazy, especially if
I think the utility is just really good on that one. Like you said, being able to shield people, and if you took the heal at level 1, being able to heal 2 people as well. Yeah. And getting 2 stabs off, 2 spikes.
Yeah, I think Hive Mind's awesome. Of course, it's all going to come down to testing, and I think level 20 is just one of the more competitive. As if Abathur didn't have enough skills that you could kind of debate in different builds, but now as level 20 you get to debate more. Needle Spine, this is where they move the damage to, so that's your level 7 talent. You get your range and damage all in one. They should have done that to begin with, honestly, because no one ever needed the increased range. But having the range and the damage in one talent, that's really awesome. But you're not going to want to. I don't think you're going to want to take that over Mule again. So I think Mule is too good, especially now that it's intelligent. They kind of nerfed his Q a little bit damage as far as scaling goes. As a huge Abathur player, I'm glad they did that. I think he really needed it. He could snowball way too hard in the game. His Q just did ridiculous damage. Prophetic Dispersal moved from 13 to 4. It's just additional charges on your mines. No big deal, I don't think that's going to change. That's not going to compete with the 25% attack speed boost. Ballisto Spore is now increasing net duration by 25%. So your nests last longer, and you get them in the limited range. I still don't think you'll take that. What's that? That was level 7, I believe. No, that was level 4. So again, like, I don't think you're gonna want to take that because the 25% attack speed is just too good. Ultimate Evolution, I think they killed this ult. This is why I don't think this will be the ult anymore. Ultimate Evolution clone no longer inherits the host heroic ability. Why would you do that? Like, this kills this ultimate in my mind. Now, I may play with it and it may be world different, but like,
I think it kills it for the fact that, like, if you, like, I haven't played out there a whole lot. I played it a few times, but like when I would use it, I'd use it on a carry like Tychus or Vala, and I'd really play it for the heroic ability, so you could have double the heroic ability. But I don't know. I mean, it still could be worthwhile just to have the damage from an extra assassin, or you might even play it more towards having 2 tanks. I don't know.
Or 2 supports.
Or 2 supports, yeah, 2 Uthers. But you won't have the double storm.
This is one that, like, initially to me just stings. Like, to me, this seems like the worst change ever. Of course, we haven't got to play yet.
They reduced it by 40 seconds.
It does have an 80-second cooldown, but the problem is now it also, like, it gives them XP when you died, so it kind of goes back to your point of prioritizing the tank. It's harder to kill. Now, the only thing that I think works, I think it's one of those talents that will not really shine until 20. I think if you take this, you have to take the level 20 talent now. And that's while the clone is alive, whoever you cloned gets a shield equal to 20% of their health that refreshes every 5 seconds. So
yeah, I
think what this does is it almost forces, like, say you go in a team fight, right? I don't know. You can really ult anybody. 20% maximum health shield is going to be awesome every 5 seconds. But you ult the tank, and that's going to make the tank tankier. And you can either split push or, like, they're going to have to focus you down rather than the actual tank with the ult. So
I feel like if you take the Ultimate Evolution ult with the changes, you don't necessarily have to take the ult. I think you could go into Hive Mind or Locust Nest if you wanted to, but I feel like the new ult that they put in, I definitely think you have to spec into the level 20 on that one, just so you could, unless you were strictly using it for split push, because you would want that level 20 ult or buff to it because you could, like you said, burrow into a team fight.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, they did a lot of changes to Abathur, and we don't know how he's really going to do until, you get your hands on him and you learn how to play the new version of it.
I think he's going to feel like a whole new hero, essentially. Same kind of basic play style, but talent choice, it's like a whole new ball game now. Asmodan, me personally, I think he still sucks. It's like they're not really doing anything.
But the Merc Lord. The Merc Lord buff.
I mean, that's just gonna make him. That's gonna make him a little bit more cancerous. But I think he still sucks overall. Like he's still not bringing anything to team fight. So they increased the cooldown of his Q, like, because that's what he needed. He needed a longer cooldown.
You're a fool.
The scaling damage is increased. Like, I don't think the scaling is his problem, kind of. But I don't think it was his Q. I think his Q is just poke. Damage bonus per kill increase from 1 to 2. Maybe it'll get easier to kill minions with your Q, and you can farm up that, and you go super late game. But I still don't think that's a good case.
I'm telling you, Asmo Ab, all the way to rank 1, dude. All the way to rank 1.
Oh, and what is this? Oh, the demonic invasion. They actually gave him real health now. You know what that means? Just you can AoE them down a little bit easier because they're not like the doubloon chests anymore, and so they don't last infinitely. They're not going to constantly shove a wave. So these things are killable now, so it's like, okay, I don't think he did anything. Chin, I think he's gone. I think competitive, he's gone. Period.
No, I like the cast time. Because I didn't like that you could do it instantly. I don't like that you can interrupt it.
Yes.
I'm not a fan. You're in the front line. You're going to eat stuns.
I think that's exactly why he's dead now. Like, Storm Earth Fire now is 1 second cast time during which the ability can be interrupted. Maybe in solo queue he's still okay because
I don't think so.
They're not going to be coordinated.
You're going to have to take barrel.
They're not going to save his stun. But in competitive, I think he's done. Like, because you're going to save your stun or your polymorph or whatever. The moment he goes to do that, you stun him, kill him. That's it. No more annoying Chin.
I don't know why you would do that to him. Like, make it a longer cast time, even. Like, just something. I don't understand why you would put that it can be, like, disabled or interrupted or whatever. It's just, I don't understand.
I
I understand that it's a very strong ultimate, but like I said, if you put a longer cast time on it, you still got time to focus him and burst him down.
Yes. I don't know. To me, like, first impression, I think Chen's just...
Yeah, he's dead.
I feel like he's awful. Like, I don't want to say awful.
Just
He's
take
still
barrel,
annoying.
dude. Just take barrel and roll in, man.
Barrel sucks. Falstead got new changes. To me, most of these changes were completely unnecessary. But hey,
yeah, I think he was perfectly fine the way he was. I mean, I think they should have changed Blitzkrieg. I think the new ult that they put in is nice for instead of Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg was almost worthless.
Yeah, well, he was almost too good. Like, I don't feel like they changed anything to really hurt Falstad, but they made some unnecessary changes to me. Like, let's see. So W, the passive, like lightning proc and all that, that's out of the game. And aerial Blitzkrieg, that ult that no one took unless you were Talongated and forced to, that's out of the game. So now Talongated Falstads don't have as terrible of a time in life. He no longer has Stone Skin, never really needed it. New ability Lightning Rod. It damages an enemy and deals additional damage over 4 seconds if Falstad remains within proximity of the target.
To me, that's really similar of Thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's the same except now you get to target it first.
Yeah.
So
it just doesn't hit a random thing.
You actually pick the target you're going to hit.
Yeah.
So,
and then if you stay in range, it'll continuously hit it, I'm thinking is what it does.
Yep. New talent level 4 charges up. It's going to strike 2 additional targets. Nothing really big there. You know, hey, who cares? It's not going to ever be taken over Gathering Power. Thunder Strikes. Lightning Rod deals 15% more damage with each subsequent strike. Problem there is you're competing in 13 with Rewind. You know, I don't think you're ever going to take that over Rewind. Static Shield gains a stacking shield worth 5% of your health. Still don't think you're going to take that over Rewind. Like, Rewind is just too good of an ability for Falstad.
A lot of Falstad's talents are like set in stone. Like, you're almost never going to take anything other than what is recommended on him.
Yeah, like that. I think that's kind of one of the problems with Falstad is how static he is in his build. But hey, Lightning Rod may be really strong, and these talents will be worth it. So we'll see. New ability, Mighty Gust. This is his new heroic ability. Pushes enemies away with a gust of wind, slowing them by 60%. Slow decays over 3 seconds. It's just going to let you kind of position more, bring some utility to it. I'm not sure.
I want to know if it does damage.
Well, that's the thing. If it does do damage, like, it's just a small amount of damage. If it's just a slow, it'll never be taken. If it's damage,
if it's just a slow, I'd rather have Blitzkrieg.
Oh my god, I never want that. And then at level 20, it creates a wind tunnel for slow seconds, which it actually pushes them back, as well as slowing them, I imagine, too.
It's like a straight line Brightwing.
Yes, essentially. So it brings some utility. If it does damage, you know, they don't really specify, and I don't remember from the video, I don't think it killed anybody.
No.
So I think it just pushed them back. So
pushes them to the side or push.
If it's straight utility, this could be if you went for like an auto attack focused Falstad, this could be pretty good as far as like giving yourself some peel, but it's not shock and awe, right?
No, it's not shock and awe anymore.
It's been renamed to Hinderland Blast.
Something easy to say turned into something that I don't ever want to say.
And then Blast of Awe has been renamed to Call of the Wildhammer. Let's see his trait. It's been renamed to Airy Gust, and what's that do? Reduce activation time. The talent, Airy Gust talent, it reduces Tailwind's activation time to 2 seconds and increases move speed bonus from 20% to 30%. Probably never going to take that.
Okay, all Falstad players, I know you loved it, but you can't fly twice anymore. It's out of the game. You can't do it.
Flight Z, the flyaway talent's been removed. They added that into 20 with your epic mount. I could see this being taken at 20 personally, because the normal cast time is 45 seconds, and what this talent does is reduce the cooldown by 20 seconds. So every 25 seconds you can fly, reduces the cast time of it by 0.5 seconds, and the flying speed by 50%. So you get there faster, you cast it faster, and you can do it more often. I feel like this could be pretty good.
I think I can definitely see people take it on Dragonshire.
I can see it on Dragonshire. I can see it on the Curse map. Even the new Sky Temple, I could see it. It makes you kind of more of a
gives
Brightwing.
You more opportunities to back.
Yeah.
Kind of like Brightwing. Where, like, if you're in a bad situation and you got that, like, should I tap, should I go back, you don't got to think about it as much. You just...
And it's kind of the same way with like it kind of gives you some escape too, because a lot of newer false stats don't do this. But if you're in like in a bad position or whatever,
And
like
they don't
you're
have
caught
a
out,
stun.
you can
Fly
like
away.
dash over a wall and then fly away if you need to. So this is gonna give you more escape. Essentially, if like of course if all their roots and all that are down, but
Yeah.
that's a whole different debate. Hammering Q, Stormhammer talent removed, Wildhammer talent removed. No big deal there. New talent level 1 increases the hammering's range by 40% and the slow duration by 25%. I think initially, at first glance, this seems like it's really good, but it's competing with Bribe. Like, Bribe brings too much to the map.
I don't know. I could see if you had another bribe, like a Brightwing or something, maybe it getting taken. But I mean, even with 2 bribes, you've got a lot more control over camps.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
camp control. Maybe you could use this on like Haunted Mines where Bribe doesn't have a huge effect.
Yeah.
There's only 3 camps. Secret weapon, basic attack damage increased by 80% while the hammering and then flight. If you took level 1, I could justify level 7, but level 7 is competing with what's it called? Boomerang. So you reactivate for that burst. That's going to be really hard.
And especially if you're doing overdrive.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the boomerang.
Yep. New talent level 60 hammer time. First basic attack against the target slowed by hammering when I stun them for 0.75 seconds. I think this would be really good if it wasn't competing with overdrive.
Well, I guess it could still go with the same thing. If you talent it into all of these, I mean, you're definitely losing a lot of your burst. But this could be a different talent route that maybe people could find a use for somewhere.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to say. Of course, we're going to have to experiment with it more, but this could be a different talent route. But to me, like, being closed-minded about my false stat changing.
You can play around with this. I'm going to stick to what I do.
Yeah, you guys have fun. If it turns out to be good, I'll open my mind more. But to me, right now, false stat's the same. Dogfight talent removed. No one ever used it. New talent for Flow Rider, reduce the barrel roll cooldown by 35%. It's like, okay, that's nice. That's not gathering power. And level 7 free roll reduces mana cost. It wasn't like it was a huge mana issue anyway, and you're competing with Boomerang. So, like, maybe, I couldn't justify that one. This is one I definitely need to play with. I still think it sucks. But I
Is
need
this
to
his Saw Hands?
Yeah, this is what he's the big Robo Golem. It's apparently a passive now, and it's always active, so you're always going to do more damage to structures. So Split Push Gazlo is coming out of the rule works, but it's no longer a Dragon Knight because the damage bonus isn't as high. It's only 150%, so 250%. But that's still like
It used to be Dragon Knight.
it was essentially
Kind of
like
damage?
it was at level 20. You were essentially the Dragon Knight if you were bottom.
Holy wow! Oh, you also can mount up.
Yeah. So you can mount while you're choosing it. Wait. Oh yeah, you could because you couldn't.
Yeah,
mount
you couldn't do it
Robodom.
before.
I don't take that often. But yeah, you couldn't mount. So I think this is not a big change to Gazlo. It just gives it more.
It's all for the Merc Lord.
Yeah, actually, I really agree with that. This is all specifically for a split push Gazlo. So you could maybe make this work actually.
It's the same reason they did the Asmo changes. Like split push, it's coming. It's gonna be here for ranked. Get ready. Get ready, you solo queue players.
Oh god. Illidan, I don't know if this is a big deal to a lot of Illidan players. I don't play him that much. I haven't got to talk to my buddy who plays a lot of Illidan about this yet, but it no longer when you take the upgraded ult, it no longer removes your ability to mount, but it doesn't give that bonus move speed out of combat. I don't know if that was a big deal to Illidan players personally, so to me that doesn't.
I never saw a whole lot of people actually like take the rank up in.
Yeah, I never saw a lot of people take demonic form. They always took blink. So this may be good for demonic form. That way you can mount up and escape more and stuff. But I don't know honestly. Jaina, reduce the damage of a Frostbolt. Maybe this will change your build path up more. It's like all Frostbolt build, which is retarded damage. Kona Cold, it does a lot. It does a bit more damage now, so that's good. Water Elemental, the initial explosion damage, so you can place it more, do an initial burst. I don't think Jaina changes were that big. Kerrigan, the Ultralisk, you can now retarget with the R key. Yay! Micro-wing players rejoice. Finally can do that. I don't think the level 20 talent got an upgrade. I think it got kicked into the ground, so it kind of balances out to me. Basically, when you upgraded it, I think it it had a longer duration. The health was increased. Now it just morphs into an egg when it dies, and if that egg is not killed, it'll respawn. The problem I have with this is like, take the Ultralisk and send it on the carry, and the team kills it. They're gonna of course focus the egg.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of negates those changes. I don't think this is a good change. I think they should have had.
I think if they would have kept it the same and gave it the smarter UI where you can control it, it'd actually probably be the preferred ult at that point almost.
It depends on the
because
situation.
you could, I don't know. I want Ultralisk.
I love I think Ultralisk anyway. I suck at carrying him, you know, so that's to be said for the video. But I love Ultralisk personally. I just realized we don't have the light on for our camera. Oh well, so we're just dark.
We're really dark.
I don't know how to turn his light on.
Dude, you just...
it's too late in the video. We've already been to it. We'll just live with it. We'll try to find a light so you can see us more. Lily got a major haul. I do not play a lot of Lily. So I'll just read over this stuff. I have no good opinion on Lily.
Best character in the game.
Kung Fu Hustle. Abilities recharge 3 times as fast when fast feet is active. Okay. Basic attack, you can auto bore and lane, trade a little better. Fast feet, the movement speed is not as much. Shake it off, reduce the duration of the next stun or root by 75%. Safety sprint. You have healing brew, so you have protons increase the range of it. Pitch perfect. After casting healing brew, the cost reduced by 10 mana about 6 seconds. I sense that a lot of people are probably Lily fans. I don't play a lot of Lily. I don't have a lot of opinion here, so I'm not gonna waste your time. I'll just kind of scroll. You can kind of see it in the video. I don't remember if there was anything that really just stood out.
No, there was nothing groundbreaking with Lily. Just
the only thing that I can see is like Jug. Jug is weaker early, but scales a lot harder. So like for the healing, so
oh yeah, Water Dragon buff.
Water Dragon looks like it's this huge increase. Like the damage was increased by 70. The scaling reduced incredibly, and the slow is 30% more. I think Water Dragon, a lot of people like that anyway, so this just buffs those damage.
Yeah, it was actually, for a lot of people, it's the preferred ultimate. Even though I know you're all about jugs on jugs. So.
I'm all about the jug. Murden, second win, heal increase from 1% to 1.5, third win trait. He just heals more, he's more sustained. Dwarf Toss.
I got super excited about this, and then I got really sad.
He could jump farther, and then they adjusted the talents where you really got no
it evens out.
Yeah.
It evens out.
Haymaker, they reduced the mana cost of it, and it has a cast bar now. And then when you take the level 20 version, it reduces the mana cost by half. Nova, they nerfed anti-armor shields again. Instead of attacking 3 times with 1 hit, it's down to 250%. So it's basically 2.5 attacks now per hit. Headshot. This one I actually like. I think it kind of... This one is debatable at 13. A lot of people have been taking the cloak one, but I don't think. I think this will be the go-to at 13 now. Reduce ability cooldowns by 4 seconds after killing an enemy hero. That's just going to let you get more kills. You know, you're really going to snowball at that point. If you're ahead, you kill them fast. You keep going. It's going to keep going. You're just going to keep snowballing kills. This is why I think it'll be taken over this now, because you no longer regenerate your cooldown faster. And instead you heal 2% of your health per second. I don't think the health was ever really a problem with Nova. She's really squishy.
Yeah, who cares if you die?
You're gonna position right. You're never gonna have to worry about this. So I just think 13 will be better. The movement speed from advanced cloaking is pretty good though to get you out of sticky situations. So if you need the movement speed, it could be good. Yeah, that's kind of all play style dependent. Pinning shot, no big change. I don't think this change is big at all. To the covert ops talent, which was, I don't remember what level it was, but basically lets you get a 50% slow if you don't use your W. If you stay stealth and don't use your W for 50 seconds, you'll get a 50% slow. I don't think that's good. You know, I think you're gonna do more often.
I like what they did to Hollow Decoy.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like it.
I like the increased range.
Increased range, and then
I like that it has an AI that makes it move. So I mean, you can fool people now.
Yeah, all the time it has an AI.
I mean, besides the fact that it doesn't do damage, it'll trick people.
Yeah. Well, it's really good to like scare people off of objectives.
Yeah, yeah. It also cancels like Curse Hollow, doesn't it?
Only if you take the one that
damages
lets it do damage.
Oh, okay.
Oracle trait for Tassadar. Honestly, I play a lot of Tassadar. I've never even noticed if it didn't do Zagara creep tumors before, but it now reveals all cloaked units, including Zagara creep tumors. Tygus, I really like this Tygus change because if Tygus needed anything, it was a buff, right? So like, he no longer has to wind up his minigun. Instead, it now instantly attacks, but it speeds up the attack speed over time. So it'll get to what it was before, but now you can orb walk with him. You know,
remember all them Tychus nerfs that were supposed to come? He got buffed.
I think Tychus. I don't think Tychus is really that OP. I think he's
just got to burn Odin.
I think he's really well balanced.
Kill that Odin. Kill it as soon as it comes up.
Quick. With Zagara, I don't think anything really changed with Zagara. No one ever took Endless Creep, but you know, for the sake of reading the patch. This is actually pretty big. You can now see how long your creep turns last. I think that's really good. It's going to let you be more efficient with your creep.
You double health.
Endless creep, I think they're still going to die instantly anyway. You know, it's like double, 1 health is 2, whatever. Infested drop. This is actually gives you more incentive to be precise with it because you do 100% bonus damage on impact rather than damaging over time. So this could actually give you a bit more burst if you can hit them with your pod drop or whatever it is. I haven't played StarCraft in a while. Talent. I don't think that's really that good. I mean, I think the increased roachling duration was what made that talent, and that talent was still bad. And I don't think minions doing less damage to your roachlings is going to help. Maybe it'll help with your camp. Camp clear speed. I don't remember. I don't think Zagara gets Merc Lord. Could be wrong on that. I'm trying to look real quick, but I don't.
No, Zagara doesn't get Merc Lord.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she doesn't. Okay, so I'm right. The Devouring Maw, I kind of like this change, but I don't think you'll ever take it over Bolt of the Storm still. Cooldown reduction from this talent is no longer dependent on Zagara killing a hero inside the Devouring Maw, because that was hard as shit anyway. It's now a passive bonus, so if someone decides they want to 1v1 Zagara with her 2 Hydralisks and they want to eat them all and you kill them, your Maw goes down by 25-second cooldown. So I think this could be really good. You get a good Maw in a team fight, and you start killing people. If you get credited with the takedown, you're going to reduce your cooldown by 25%. The problem is that you have to be credited with it, so you have to get the last hit. From wording, I think it's just that if it goes by the general rule of thumb where you just have to be around them and hit them like once to get a takedown, this will be a really good one. But if you have to actually get the last hit and the game credits you with it, like in the top left or right corner, whatever it was, I don't think it'll be that good. But I can't see you wanting to take this over Blink anyway, because she's very immobile. This is just general bug fixes and stuff. From when I read through this, there was nothing that really stood out to me. So I don't think anything. I mean, of course, you want to read over the bugs and stuff. Maybe something here is crazy.
I just want to know why they decided to kill my favorite tank in Chen, and Arthas got nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is this? Why did this happen?
I don't know why Arthas still has Envenom. I think that would have made this patch perfect if they just took Arthas Envenom away.
Arthas didn't get touched at all. They left him alone. He's fine. He is fine the way he is. Oh my goodness.
This is the only thing I really like. Let's see. Bolts of the Storm and Zertal's Blink can't be cast while rooted. They needed that. And
it could be casted while you were rooted?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would have known that.
And ETC's Mosh Pit will now reveal cloaked people. So there was a lot of times when I would have people play as ETC and they would start to ult like Zeratul or a Nova, and then their cloak, like if you didn't damage them, they would actually cloak in the Mosh and you couldn't do anything. So that's really a good change for ETC, kind of. Some stuff not really that big.
I think it should happen in Void Prison too.
In Void Prison? Oh, that's right. They actually didn't do... Well, Void Prison, I think, not a bug, so... They actually didn't do anything in the Void Prison. I thought they might change that some.
Because I've trapped so many people, cloaked units in Void Prison, and, like... I mean, if you know where they are, you can still hit them, but I don't know. I just think if you're able to get them in that, I should see them.
So, overall, based off this patch, how happy are you with it?
I don't know. I like a lot of the changes. I don't like the Chen change. I don't think I don't think they did enough to Lily to make her any better at all, really. I mean, maybe Water Dragon. I don't know. But, I mean, I think Abathur's really interesting. I really honestly think Falstad will kind of stay the same, even though they changed stuff about him. I'm excited for Sky Temple because I want to see how it'll play out. Maybe it'll somehow get to competitive, even though you say you don't think it will. Maybe it will. Maybe we'll see it in competitive. Maybe it'll be like hype of the year. And I'm really excited about Thrall. Everybody's excited
about Thrall. I kind of have the same opinion on the patch. I don't know enough about Lily to really judge. I think Lily is just too situational based. I think she's still very situational based. The Falstad, I think Falstad won't change at all. I think Arthas really needed a nerf, and I think Blizzard is just avoiding it for some reason. Just taking Venom away, that's all we want. You know, take away this early crazy burst damage that Arthas has, and I think he's just fine. Being able... I really don't like to change the chin, personally, but I can kind of see it because he just had this, like, instant double health bar
longer
thing.
cast time.
Yeah, I think just having the cast time at 1 second would have been enough.
We'll just see how it plays out, and then if it's still too long, then maybe go the route you did. Or
as far as Sky Temple, it's really hard to judge without playing it. If I would have went to BlizzCon, I'd have a better opinion on it. But just my initial thing is, like, I don't think teams are going to prioritize that. I think Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire are still going to be the two kind of popular, preferred maps for competitive. Because I think
well, they've already been set in stone as, like, the popular one. So there would have to be a change to other maps or something for it to change.
Well, it's just because of how balanced they are.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you can always contest the shrines, and you can always contest them. There's no huge impact to just contesting those objectives. Whereas this one, you know, if an enemy team holds, you know, say the top shrine, and it starts pulsating, killing top structures, depending on how often it, like, attacks those structures, that's really snowbally. So, yeah, that's kind of why I don't think it'll be a popular competitive match, but it's big and it has a lot of objectives, so it might be. I think it'll be way more preferred than Blackheart's Bay.
You think so?
Yeah, like
I think Blackheart's Bay would be more preferred over Sky Temple.
I don't think so at all, because this one you can control bottom and pulse bottom. Like you can control bottom, whereas Blackheart is just all about the initial turn in. You know, if you're behind, you can't contest the turn in.
We're gonna have to argue about this later,
but. This is just a quick patch rundown. Sorry you can't really see us. We have a fancy light.
Yeah, we don't know how to use it.
We just don't know how to turn it on because it's not our house. We're at our buddies. Wanted to do a quick little overview of it. Doing a quick little thing. Just real quick before we close out the video. This is the only light I have. I'm gonna use my phone flashlight. So that's Kyle. You see Kyle. That's me. I'm Gur. I do a lot of competitive stuff. He's newer to the game. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to post this on Reddit, YouTube. If you like our review or if you really like the way we talk about it or have any suggestions for later, leave a like or leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube or on Reddit. I always check that stuff. I don't know how active Kyle is on Reddit. I just wanted to contribute to the scene. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I know it's kind of long. There's a lot of patches. I'll try to sum it up next time. Might even go back and make like a summary video. Have a good time. That's the longest video.
It's an hour. There's a lot of shit to go over there. Jesus Christ.
That video isn't.
You couldn't figure out the light, could you?
No, we had.
I actually forgot about it, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it on.
The lighting was fine, and then like it got dark outside.
Yeah. No, I have the webcam set up not to have auto lights. Because if I have it set up with auto lights, then everything is like really